everyone. I'd like to welcome you all to this episode of Fairy Tale Chatter. My name is Ariel, and I will be your host for this evening, or this afternoon, whatever the case may be. It might even be morning, who knows? Anywho, I was so honored when Liz invited me to do my very own episode. I haven't really done anything like this before, so it's kind of exciting for me. I see that quite a few of you have questions for me, which is wonderful. Thank you ever so much. So why don't we go ahead and just get started? A preface before we begin. I am a bit nervous about this. I am shy, which many people don't know about, but, living in underwater environments for so many years, kind of secluded from, walkers, which is what I call all of you, it can make you a bit timid. So I'm going to answer your questions to the best of my ability, but I may have to take breaks every so often just to compose myself. And, with that being said, let's dive right in, shall we? Pun intended. All right, let me look on the question form here. All right, the first question was from Katarina Holtz-Apple, who would like to know any tips on being yourself, and what about some boy advice? Well, Katarina, I think it's very important to be yourself and to kind of stand up for what you believe in. For many years, I hid the fact that I used to be a mermaid. Well, that I am a mermaid part-time, I should say, because I do still spend my summers in the Atlantic. But for many years I hid that fact, and, it weighed on me quite heavily. And then I started attending a support group, Mermaids Anonymous, and we kind of all work together to help one another with the process of being human on, at least a part-time basis. But I can tell you from personal experience that it's all about finding who you are first before you ever try to discover more about somebody else. And I think that goes hand in hand with your other question, Katarina, which is any boy advice. And I think it's important to know who you are first before you try to find love elsewhere. And really, at the root of it, you have to love who you are and find your own place in this big, wide world, whether it be on land or in the water. All right, and let's see here. Sierra Marie would like to know, what is your advice to all of the little girls that look up to you? Oh, that's so sweet. I suppose it would be that you have to be comfortable in your own skin. It kind of ties into Katarina's a bit. But the question she posed. But whether you have a scaly tail, or you think you're too tall, or you don't like the color of your hair, or whatever the case may be, you have to be comfortable in your own skin, and you have to realize that there's always something to love about yourself, and that you're a beautiful human being, or merman, or mermaid, whatever the case may be, and that, the world is your oyster if you're able to look yourself in the mirror and love what you see. All right, let's see here. Louise James, has a question for me. What are your dietary requirements? That is a very good question. I like a lot of seafood based things, of course, so caviar is quite delicious, oysters, clams, but mainly I live on a plant-based diet, so I love a good kelp sandwich or a nice algae soup for dinner, and things like that. For a while, I was trying to stick to a strictly vegan diet, but I found that a bit difficult, so I started integrating meat proteins every now and again, or seafood proteins anyway. Harry Nelson has a few questions for me. Can you turn into human and mermaid form freely? Yes, I can, Harry. And I'm quite proud of that fact, because quite a few mermaids have a hard time transitioning. It can take a day or two for them to make the full transformation. But I can do it within about 5 minutes, just because I've done it so often. And it's all thanks to, a variety of different magical spells that I've learned over the years. And the next question is, are you friends with any princesses, princes, or even villains? Ooh, scandalous. I do quite like Snow White. She's great to have around at a party. Cinderella, she and I used to be friends for many years, but then we fell out over, well, I don't want to go into that now. And do you know who I'm quite on friendly terms with now, and I think one of my best friends at the moment is Anna. She is, I don't know if I care for her sister very much, just because she and I don't seem to mesh very well, but Anna and I get our mani-pedis done together all the time, especially my tail pedis. You must be the best singer out of the princesses. Do the others ever get jealous? Oh, no. I try to keep my singing voice a little bit on the down low. I usually just sing in the shower now, or of course during my summers in the Atlantic. There's a little nightclub there that I like to perform in every Saturday night, but no one usually gets jealous, and I try not to make it a habit to sing in public when I'm not in the water. All right. Sarah Thomas would like to know what originally got you interested in collecting human artifacts. Oh, well, I think it's just kind of an obsession I picked up over the years. I found a beautiful mother of pearl comb sitting on the bottom of the ocean many, many years ago. And it caught my eye because the sun kind of hit it and it kind of gleamed and shone there. So ever since then, pretty much, I've been a bit fanatical about collecting them. Even in my home on land with Eric, I have a lovely room where I keep all of my collectibles. And he gets a little angry with me sometimes just because I'm a bit of a pack rat. But oh well, we all have our little quirks. Like him, he likes to use the mustard and then leave that little, not wipe it down so it gets that little crust on the top, and I hate it. Oh well. Do you ever regret becoming human and leaving your old life behind? No, not really. I think it's a common misconception that I'm completely human now because, as I said, I do get away to the underwater world quite often. At least 3 months out of the year, I'd say. How many children would you like to have, and do you have names picked out for them? Well, I actually already have 2 children, and their names are Finn and Pearl, and they are they're the apple of my eye, and Finn just turned 8, and Pearl is 5. She just started kindergarten, actually. So I just love them to bits. Let's see, other questions here. Sui Matt would like to know, do you ever regret becoming a human? And what are your feelings towards Ursula? I have no regrets about becoming a human. because I can transition, of course. But Ursula, that's an entirely different story. You know, about 2 years ago, I tried to bury the hatchet with her. Not literally, of course. I try not to resort to violence if at all possible, except for that one summer in Reno. Anyway, I try to really just let bygones be bygones, I suppose. From time to time, she'll try to get in contact with me because we have signed sort of a confidentiality agreement about several things that have happened for the protection of both of us, I think, both parties involved. And she has been trying to write a tell-all book for, who knows how long. And I don't think that's in our best interest. And so she'll try to contact me through her lawyers or directly to get me to lift the agreement. But I don't think it'll ever happen. And she is quite spiteful. She's threatened me on numerous occasions as well. And ever since the voice incident, I'm kind of done with her, quite frankly. And the next question is from Anna C., who has a few questions for me. You have wondrous hair. Why, thank you. Any tips for keeping it beautiful? I use kind of an algae seaweed mixture. You know who knows a lot about hair grooming, and it's kind of surprising, is manatees. They are the best hairstylists I've ever seen in my life. And I learned all I know about hair care from manatees. You know, they might not have much of it on their own, but they know how to do an updo like nobody's business. Next question. What was your favorite food under the sea, and what is your favorite food now? Under the sea, I did like a good oyster. I'll tell you, with a little bit of vinegar and a little bit of butter sometimes. And then every now and again, of course, you'd find a pearl, which is exhilarating. My favorite food now, I would have to say Snickers. I love those candy bars to pieces, and I don't know, sometimes I get a craving for them. How is Max doing? He's doing wonderfully. Thank you for asking. I haven't talked to him in a little while, but every now and again we'll correspond. Do you know Aladdin and Jasmine? Have you ever visited them in Agrabah? Are you good friends? Believe it or not, I have been to Agrabah a few different times. Not that I'm necessarily on kind of friendship terms with either of them. It's just that they usually have a retreat there about once every 5 years. It takes a little while for me to work up the courage to get there because it is so dry and humid and very little water, as you can imagine. But they have a little bit of a fairy tale retreat that they hold there every now and again, a kind of a peace, forum. And Eric and I like to go if we can find a sitter. Okay, next question is from Nikolai Vyeskov. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced that. What is your favorite sea animal? I do love crabs. I just think they're too cute. But then again, manatees are lovely. As I said, they are very knowledgeable. The only animal I really don't care for all that much are eels, for obvious reasons. What parts of the ocean have you visited? Oh, I've been to all of them. Pretty much any body of water I've dipped my tail into. And finally, what's your favorite trinket? And then he thanks me for taking the time to answer these questions. Oh, you're so welcome, Nikolai. My favorite trinket, I'd have to say I'd have to say it's that mother of pearl comb, just for sentimental reasons. It was my first treasure, and it means a lot to me. Then again, I did find this lovely music box about 5 years ago in the Pacific, and I had Eric repair it after I came home, and it is quite special to me as well. But I love all of my trinkets, though, I have to admit. Okay, Snowflake Pillow would like to know, have I ever talked to a dolphin? Oh, yes, I speak dolphin fluently. Very complicated language, but it's well worth it if you can find the time to learn dolphin. They're brilliant creatures, as many of you know, and I once knew a philosopher who happened to be a dolphin, and the conversations we used to have just so enlightening. Dee's knees. Her question is, do the merfolk have any traditions they love to uphold? That is quite a good question. Well, every July we have something called a clam cookout. And it's kind of an all-you-can-eat kind of thing. In fact, sometimes there's competitions where people eat as many clams as they can, and then they use the clam shells to make decorative pieces and things. And I think that's about the only tradition. Other than that, when we get married, instead of putting on rings, which I did have a ceremony here on land as well, but the underwater wedding we had, you actually have to tie algae around the tail, which got a bit tricky because Eric doesn't have a tail, but we were able to work around that with magic, of course. Okay, Sapphire Kitty has 3 questions. What do you think of human technology? Do you like computers? Oh, I think they're just terrific. I send emails all the time. In fact, my father, I bought him a special underwater computer, so I'm able to chat with him. We Skype sometimes and everything. It's terrific. He loves to see the kids as often as he can. So, what do you like? Would you like to become a pop star or perform on Broadway if you weren't a princess? You know, I think I'm quite content with my nightclub gig that I have every now and again. Though I have always wanted to play in Wicked. I think that's a fantastic play. I don't know what part I'd be though, but it might be nice to one day do Broadway, just like a one night stand, I guess they call it. Okay, I don't think that's what they call it. I think that was inappropriate. Oh well. Whatever they call it when you perform only one night. Which princess? Now I'm all tongue-tied and flustered. Oh goodness. Which princess is the best, second best next to you, and the worst singer? Oh, you know, Snow White can carry a tune quite well. I heard her perform at a benefit one time. She was wonderful, almost an operatic voice, in fact. I think the worst singer. Oh, she's gonna kill me for saying this, but I'd have to say, honestly, Cinderella has an awful voice. It's like, it sounds like a cacophony of crows. It's just, poor girl. But she's beautiful. She's beautiful. All right. Trap Factory. Have you ever found, these are the questions from Trap Factory, by the way, I'm sorry. Have you ever found anyone as good as you as singing, to sing a duet before? Well, I think it would be Snow White, quite honestly. I mean, she's just got a golden voice. Have you ever gone out to karaoke with other princesses? Oh, this is a funny story. One night I got together with, it was actually during one of the peace benefits, the peace forums that we were having in Agrabah, actually, come to think of it. And Jasmine was there. She's very aloof, though, so it's hard to kind of read her. But Cinderella was there, Snow White, Belle was there as well. And so we were all kind of gathered around. Oh, Aurora was there too. She didn't stay for too long, though. She was tired, had a headache or something. So we all went out, and I got up on stage very briefly because, as I said, I'm a little bit timid. But Snow White went up there with Belle, and they did a duo. I think it was, what was it? What was that song that they did? That's what it was. It was Fast Car by Tracy Chapman, I want to say. But they were both so tipsy at that point that they slurred half the words and they ended up getting kicked out of the place because they ended up getting a little belligerent. I'm not going to lie about it. But every now and again I'll think back to that and just shake my head. And the last question is from Trap Factory is, how are you and Prince Eric faring now? Oh, we're doing very well. We had a bit of a rough patch there with the adjustment about a year in, and we went out and got some marriage counseling, but since then everything's been right as rain, I have to tell you. No complaints there really, except for the whole mustard bottle thing. Okay, Fantasy Princess 17 has a few questions. She says, it's so nice to get to talk to you. I hope you don't mind answering a few of my questions. Oh, it's no trouble at all. How did you start your collection in the grotto? Well, it was from that mother of pearl comb that I just adore. What is your favorite thing that you collected? Again, it was that mother of pearl comb. It's just beautiful. I put it on prominent display in, I didn't even put it in my collection room. It's actually in my living room on the mantel. It's just gorgeous in a little box. How are all your family and friends under the sea? They are terrific. Thank you for asking. My dad had a bit of a touch of pneumonia a couple of years ago, but he's fully recovered now. My sisters are great. All but one of them has been married off and has their own kids, so we have a nice big family. Poor Petunia just hasn't found the right merman, but I'm sure she will someday. But she has a great career going for her. So, yeah. How is your daughter Melody? You know, that's a common misconception. I don't have a daughter named Melody. I think what they did in that movie is they actually kind of based the character on my daughter Pearl, and which is fine. I mean, that's fine. They didn't really ask my permission for the rights to that movie. It was kind of a fictional account, but you know, I'd prefer they changed her name, quite honestly, because I don't know, for personal reasons, I suppose, private, you know. Do you and the other princesses ever get together and hang out at all? Oh, we do on occasion. We tear up the town when we do. Okay. And then ASMR Alaskan Treasures would like to ask me, have you read Hans Christian Andersen's Little Mermaid? I have. I think it's a very kind of grim tale. I mean, much of it is true, but there are some things that are a bit more depressing than they should be in that story. But what are you going to do? What is your favorite and least favorite thing about living on land? I hate getting sand in my toes. Just sand bothers me in general. I don't mind it when I'm in the ocean because it's damp and wet and very, you know, kind of solid. And even when I do kick it up with my tail in the ocean, it kind of just settles right back down and doesn't get in all the nooks and crannies of my, you know, my outfit. And so that's one thing. I think my favorite thing about living on land is Snickers bars. They would just melt right away when you go in the sea. And ice cream. I love ice cream, especially Rocky Road. Then again, mint chip is good. Oh, well. Do you still keep in contact with Sea Creature friends and your family? My family, yes. Sea Creature friends, Sebastian and I, we talk quite frequently. Flounder, he's a great guy to be around. He's just so adorable. Yeah, I keep in touch with them as much as I can. When I go back during the summers, I try to, you know, reach out to them. They have their own busy lives now and their own families, so but we do get together during the clam cookout as often as we can. And let me see if there are any messages from anyone else who would like to ask me questions. I think all these questions are just terrific, guys. I'm very impressed with all the let's see, let me see how to work this. Okay, the last series of questions are from Kathy and Chrissy, and they have quite a few questions for me, so I'll dive right in again. Do you prefer to make a necklace out of seashells or out of pearls? Oh, I think, well, I was going to say pearls, but I guess it depends on the mood I'm in. Seashells are more of a playful kind of casual, everyday wear, but pearls are more for special occasions, I guess. If you could choose between a dolphin baby or a whale baby to adopt, which would you choose? Oh, I think a dolphin baby, just for the simple fact that they are a bit more compact and portable. You know, you could put a dolphin in a swimming pool, a whale not so much when they get a bit bigger. Plus, whales will eat you out of house and home. Do you sometimes miss your fins? No, because I see them every summer, and sometimes even when I hop in the bathtub, I'll just kind of stretch them out a bit. Can you understand your daughter's wish to be a mermaid instead of a human girl, or are you horrified about that idea? That's another common misconception. Melody in the movie, I suppose, wanted to be a mermaid. My daughter Pearl, though, she has every now and again expressed an interest in maybe kind of exploring that avenue. But for the most part, she's happy being human. She will go with me some summers, and I mean, we'll see how long that carries on, though, because I don't know. I've heard about when they get into the teenage years, they just don't want anything to do with you, so we'll see. But I'll support her no matter what decision she makes, because she will have to make a decision at some point what she wants to do. Same thing with my son. Since Ursula took your voice for a period of time, did you consider learn sign language? If it would have carried on for much longer, I probably would have had to learn the full sign language vocabulary, but pretty much it lasted for such a short period of time that I was able to just act things out or write them down. But I've always been interested in that kind of thing, in linguistics and such. Did you take the next question is, did you take singing lessons as a child, or was your beautiful voice a gift by a seafarer or sorceress? Well, I guess my mother gave me my singing ability. There are some myths that maybe a sea fairy kind of gave her the gift originally, and then it was passed down to me, but I don't know if any of that's true. Are you afraid of sharks, and are they a danger to the sea folk? They actually aren't. We usually just keep them kind of at bay with not making sacrifices, but we have a bit of a treaty with them. Let's just put it that way. Next question. Are you able to swim to other worlds like the Enchanted Forest or Arendelle, or would that be too long of a swim? Oh no, I've swam all over the place. I can cover quite a bit of ground, quite a bit of water in a day. So sometimes I'll take long trips, definitely. It just kind of lets me, I usually do it alone just to kind of explore my thoughts and have some me time. Next question. As the youngest of your sisters, do you have any advice for children with older siblings? I just think it's important to always feel that you're special in some way. You have a unique gift, you have a unique ability, and there's no reason really to try to have any sibling rivalry or anything like that. It's just, you have to know how to hold your own and be comfortable in knowing the fact that you have something rare to offer the world. Next question. Which other fairy tale princesses are you friends with? Quite a few of them. I don't really have any feuds ongoing with any of them either. Nothing serious anyway. 11. Do you like wearing jewelry? I do. I try to wear at least one piece of jewelry every day. I don't go overboard because I feel like that kind of over accessorizes and clutters me up. But I do try to like to wear either a pair of earrings or a nice necklace or a bracelet every day. Next question. You hid all the human stuff in a cave under the sea. Do you have a favorite hiding spot in the castle or on land as well? Well, my memorabilia room is what I call it. And that's where I kind of tuck everything away. The more priceless things are kind of under lock and key in there. Next question. If you send a message in a bottle, what would you write? You know what? I'd probably make it very interesting and write a letter to myself in 10 years. And hopefully it comes back to me. And maybe I'd put an enchanted spell on it, actually, to guarantee that it did come back to me in 10 years. Just write a little memo to myself. That might be kind of fun. The next question. Have you visited Neverland or are you friends with Peter Pan? You know, Peter Pan's a little pesky. That sounded funny. He a little mischievous. I don't know if I too much care for him, to be quite honest. I have met with some of the other mermaids. In fact, I have a cousin who lives in the Neverland Lagoon, and I visit her every now and again. But the few times I have met Peter Pan, I haven't been too impressed. Next question. Is swimming still your favorite sport as a human girl, or do you avoid water? Oh, I love it. Sometimes we have a little indoor pool in the castle. I'll go there, and it's just great. It's nice and warm, too, the way I like it. Do you wear waterproof makeup? And do I have any makeup styling tips? I do wear waterproof mascara. I am a bit emotional, though, I will admit. Even if I'm not going to be in water, I do wear it because, well, I'm kind of a crybaby at times. And styling tips, I say make one feature pop. So usually I'll do a bright red lip or I'll do a dramatic eye. It's all about drawing attention to one focal point. You have seen your fair share of ships during your time as a mermaid. Do you ever encounter Captain Hook? I have not, even when I've gone to Neverland, and I'm kind of grateful for that because I'd probably give him a piece of my mind. He's given my cousin a bit of trouble every now and again. Have you ever saved someone from drowning, except Prince Eric? I don't think I have. I'm trying to think. There was a young gentleman once off the coast of the Caribbean. That Caribbean island. I can't remember where it is. Anyway, but I think he was just kind of faking it, to be honest. We have heard that you were fascinated with dancing long before you became a human. Did you ever take dancing or ballet lessons? I tried to do tap dancing and it was a bit of a disaster, so I'm kind of, I've stuck to singing. Sometimes I'll do a waltz with Eric if we have a special occasion at the castle, an event or something, but I have 2 left feet. I'm going to be perfectly frank with you. And the last question, do you still have contact with your father and sister since you live on land? Yes, I adore them. I see them for certain holidays. I just draw them in, and like I said, we Skype as much as possible. So I think that's it. And I want to thank all of you for your wonderful questions. They were all so carefully crafted and well thought out. And I don't know about you, but I'll be looking forward to seeing who Liz has on here next. There is a bit of a buzz that it's going to be someone a bit more on the dark side, a bit wicked. So we'll see how that pans out, huh? And thank you all for tuning in to this episode of Fairy Tale Chatter with your host, Ariel. Bye.